Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are in the very first week of the Burst of Destiny meta, and the set hasn't really come out yet, but it is fairly easy to predict what's gonna happen. So I am here with another tier list video that you guys always used to love and that I will express my opinions about, and you can all tell me that I am wrong in the comment section down below. But yeah, we have a whole lot of decks right here. I wanted to get a lot of decks in this time, so we stole this. I think it's Spanish tier list maker from the tier maker, and I thought that a lot of the decks that were represented this format were on here. So like we are normally doing, tier 1, tier 0, tier 2 rogue for fun, and the deck to the left is better than the deck that is right to it. So we are gonna try to get everything in place, starting off with one deck that you have seen on my channel before, Adamant Spader. Now, without Block Dragon, it is not in the best spot in the world, but I do definitely think it is definitely a tier 2 deck. I do not want to say this is rogue. This deck is pure gas, pure power. This is way, way, way too strong. Then Altergeist has been getting a lot of success rate recently. Now I'm gonna put it at tier 2 for now, unless they get the new cards in gold, but I'm pretty sure they will not. Definitely not tier 1. I think that in like a close environment, like we've seen at the Invitationals, it's really good, but I think that at an actual event like a YCS, I'm not really sure if it's gonna go too well. So for now, definitely just a tier 2 deck. Then the Cherubini PKBA. I think that if you count it as PK, but I think that PK is somewhere over here. So PK is for sure a tier 1 deck, but it is kind of Cherubini Turbo. The Cherubini Turbo will be very good in the next meta when we have the Brave tokens. So for now, I'm just gonna count these as the same and put them all in tier 1, because PK definitely deserves to be tier 1. Especially this meta with all the new cards we got with the Destiny hero. Definitely deserves to be there. Now, B Troopers kind of missed the spot with the new support. Gonna be honest, this is definitely just a rogue deck for now. It will not be able to consistently compete like the rest of the tier 2 decks, which is why we put it on here. I believe this is Coder. Gonna just put it for fun. Despia is literally just for fun. This deck is not good at all. I'm just gonna put the decks here. The for fun is not really in any order because it's all the same garbage. Dinos, gonna put it at low tier 2. Maybe even Rogue. Definitely lost everything when Misk went to 1, which is pretty fine. Then the guy himself, Destiny hero, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. He is the guy of the deck. If your deck plays this guy, it's gonna be significantly better than if you don't. Solid tier 0 for him alone. Now this is not any specific deck, but I do just think that putting the card at tier 0 for this format, it's a pretty good prediction, don't you think? Alright, then we have Dragons. Dragons still tier 1. I still think this is one of the best decks in the format. I think it's way better than PK due to the sheer consistency and playability. This deck hasn't lost anything really, and it also hasn't gained anything, so that's interesting. Then the Dogmatica, I'm gonna put this in front of the Geist. Still think that like the Dogmatica Eldritch decks are still like really, really good. I think that we can just get 30 Dogmatica Invoked decks. We can also just get this, put it over here, and if there are any Shadow Dolls, where are they? There you go. I think we can count like this as the Dogmatica Shadow Invoked, the Dis decks. These are all basically the same deck. I think they're all still very good. I might even bump them up to tier number 1. I'm not really sure if these are better. I think this is like easily the best tier 2 deck, but I just do not think it's like tier 1. Kind of difficult, you know, but I think that this deck will always be in the top cut of a YCS, for example, but I do not think it's gonna be there, like wildly represented. Drytron, easily the worst of the tier 1 decks. Eldritch, it's a mix-up between tier 2 and tier 1. I feel like that with the new card coming out, the King of Sky Prison, I feel like this deck is gonna be way better since it doesn't like to back row destruction anymore. So putting it at tier 1 is a very, very confident pick for me, going to be honest. And the Evil Twins, yeah, tier 2, tier 1, the deck is really good. I think it's gonna be like behind Alistair. High tier 2, very, very high tier 2, the Life Twins. Thunderies, definitely, because it's so cheap, it's going to be represented. Because it's going to be represented, it's going to be good. Which is basically just, you know, the rules. The most represented deck will always be the best deck because it will always be topping. Even though it might not be the best deck on paper. Putting it as at a low tier 1, high tier 2, somewhere between there. We're gonna have to wait and see. I'm a little bit skeptical on this one. Guru, just the same as Geist. I think it's better than Geist. But this deck actually cannot really use Phoenix Enforcer, so I'm gonna put this over here. We have heroes, Rogue, some big Rogue. I don't know. Even though this is a hero, like this is still Rogue. Ice Jades, bad. Adagnister, maybe the best Rogue deck. Infernoble, one of the best combo decks of the entire format, easily, but combo decks just haven't really been the same since we have like Nip and Dark Order No More and Droplet, so yeah, even though this deck doesn't really die to those things, it still does die on like any of the hand traps that people are still playing, so low tier 2. Infernoid, definitely Rogue, definitely better than Heroes, but still Rogue. Try, Lyridisk, better than this, better than PK. I would say this is better than PK, definitely the bird version. And let's see if we can find the other. There's Kit. I would count these as the same deck. I think that pure Liverdisc will be low tier 1, high tier 2. But I think that Liverdisc Try, I think that will definitely just be a tier 1 deck. So I'm just gonna put these two over here. But Dolce has lost a lot of popularity. Rogue, Magic-y for fun, Magister for fun, Earth Machine. I will not be saying that this is a good deck this video. I'm sorry, it just isn't. So we're just gonna leave it over there. Numeron, for fun, definitely. Maybe Rogue, I don't know, but probably not. Go second strategy is not really the best. Orcust, man, we just don't have Harp yet. This deck just is not in the best spot. That's just it, so definitely Rogue. Pendulum, yeah, I'm gonna put this over here. I think behind that Ignister, definitely. Penguins is a for fun deck. Brankets, man, this deck is gone. This deck is just gone. The Meow Meow apparently was enough. Apparently it just was enough. Who knew? Who could have guessed? Snakes. Snakes are for fun. Salad. Very good rogue deck. Maybe even tier 2. Really dependent on the player. I'm gonna put it at the best of the rogue. Sky Striker. Sky Striker actually got support this set, because Destiny Hero Fusion Enforcer is actually a very, very good card. So putting this deck all the way up here might actually be correct. Definitely high tier 2, very high tier 2. This deck is very viable with the Phoenix Enforcer. Being able to handle like your Shizuku, your Phoenix Enforcer, then the first thing your opponent does, you just pop it. Then you have your main monsters all clear. This deck is really, really something else now. It's really, really good. Don't underestimate it. Speedroids, they're very good with the new support, but I do not think they can compete quite yet. Starry Knights, nothing. Shuship, nothing. Avilon, I think? Nothing. I'm gonna skip over this one for now. It's Stardust. Virtual World, better than this, but not over versatility. It's still bricks. Gonna put this over here, gonna put this one over here. I think that's fine. Trap Trick, cool deck. Not strong enough, not better than Adagnister for sure. And then the last deck is the Sword Soul. Now, I do think Sword Soul is a good deck. Do not get me wrong. But I do not think it's better than Tri-Brigade right now. I think that the deck is very solid. It still does have a lot to prove, but it is one of the newest decks that's on this list. So it has all the room to improve. And this is kind of what I think the meta will look like. I think that these decks, I know that there are a lot of tier 1 decks. There are just a lot of tier 1 decks because all these decks are really good. We live in a meta where you can play so much, like everything from tier 1 and tier 2 is viable, and then even Rogue, definitely on like regional level, will also be very viable. And for fun, you just want to avoid. Yes, Earth Machine players, you guys do not really exist. Sorry, but just the truth. Yeah, that's my take. I think that this is that BODE definitely shook up the meta, getting more tries in with the Lyridisk from Legendary Synchro Duelist. The PKs finally get their spot again at the top, even though they have been popular for a long time. Flannery's arrives at tier 1. Then the Drytron deck's still there, and everything else. I don't know, this looks the same. You can maybe swap up like this to tier 1, but that's a little bit for your own debate. So yeah, did I forget any decks? Did I say your deck is garbage? And let me know in the comment section down below why Magistus suddenly is tier 1. And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.